How's it going, beautiful people? My name is CC Dragon, and welcome to, once again, something new. If you don't recognize this is Advance Wars by Web. It's an online game where you can play, Advance Wars together with your friends. Now, I want to commentate over this match. This was a 2v2 featuring a few of my friends that I have on the Discord server. You may remember them from the Cards Against Humanity video or the Nintendo Direct video. First is myself. I am playing Hawk, who grants all units 10% extra attack. His abilities: first, Black Wave deals 1 damage to all units on the field, heals all of my damage by 1, and Black Storm does that except double, so damages 2, heals 2. Mallcop Man is playing Von Bolt, who gets 10% attack and 10% defense, and his power, Ex Machina, deals 4 HP of damage to units in a specific area and will disable them for a turn. Red Monkey is playing as Sami. Her foot soldiers have 30% attack and 50% capture bonus, meaning they can capture their properties 50% faster, but their other units lose 10% attack except for their transports, but gain 1 extra movement. Antic Mistake, her double time grants units plus 1 extra, ground units plus 1 extra movement and extra power. And Victory March grants them plus 2 extra movement, and they can capture a property instantly no matter how much HP they have. Sympic Stake is playing Eagle, who gains 15% and air attack and 15% attack and 10% defense from air units, and they use less fuel passively, but his naval units lose a lot of attack. Doesn't matter on this map because there are no, as you can see, no harbors. Lightning Drive increases the attack and defense of his air units, and Lightning Strike allows all of his units to move again. As this was a 2-on-2, me in the bottom right, bottom left, and Red Monkey in the top left. There's Mallcop Man top right, and Cynic Mistake bottom right. This thing to crash already. God, Advance Wars by Web just kind of sucks sometimes. I'll be back. I'm back, and first turn I just build 2 infantries that they can capture. Then, of course, it was Mallcop Man's turn. He once again builds infantry. The Red Monkey's turn, once again infantry. And Cynic Mistake's turn, you guessed it, infantry. So this does have a bunch of units on the field already. In my turn, I start moving to capture and build even more infantry. Cosman turn, he starts moving into position and once again builds infantry and now a recon, so he can try and push his advantage early. This was a pretty decent idea in the short term, but I'm not sure how it worked out in the long term. Red Monkey's turn, he starts moving to cap. And build yet more infantry. Very standard for these first few turns, just moving and trying to cap and building more units. So it's my turn, so keep moving to capture, get that property. Thankfully, I forgot to cap this turn, so I didn't get that property set in stone this turn, which is a little bit unfortunate and annoying, but whatever. The early game is very capture-centric, so we're not really even trying to fight each other, except for Mallcop Man with that pre-deployed recon of his. Right now, Red Monkey's making moves on the comm tower, and I think Cynic Mistake is making moves on his as well. Yeah, he's getting it now, and next turn he'll have it. So once again, my turn, and I hopefully remember to cap that city. Yes, I do. I start moving to capture these southern properties. My main goal at this point was to get all this and then focus on that airport there to deprive Cynic Mistake of it. Don't keep on getting harassed by battlecopters, because Eagle's battlecopters are very good and very good at pissing me off. They wanted to capture the comm tower, so they're only going to get 1 engagement with their comm tower up and our comm tower down, which is helpful. And he builds a tank to try and scare off Mallcop Man's recon. As now, Civic Mistake is getting closer to try and capture his airport, which I don't want to happen. Start capping that factory so we can have another place to throw out units. And then just start going in. You can see I have a tank there to really start harassing him. That's the only engagement he's going to get with the comm tower up and ours down, so he gets a good chunk of damage off on that infantry, screwing up his chance to try and capture the airport there. He was it down, tries to capture, but that'll still take 5 turns, even with Sami's ability. Fires at that recon, so it's a good amount of damage, even though I think Sami has minus 10% firepower. He starts capping the airport. That's not exactly good for me. I want to try and get him to not take that. He also builds an APC, more recons, and more infantry. It's my turn. This is really where I start taking engagements. Knock down his infantry there. Kill it. I, for some reason, just gave him that airport. I totally could have just attacked his other infantry with my infantry that went to finish off the first one, but apparently I wasn't thinking all that well. I build more infantry and now a mech because I want to get these properties in the mountains. If you're wondering, this map is called 2v2 Volcano 2v2. This is a great map. We all had a great time with this one. I'm not sure why he went for that one. I guess just to harass that recon a little bit more. Now also, Mallcut Man has an artillery on the board. Just keep trying to harass. Our Simic really starts trying to take engagements. He gets the airport, so my goal is to stop him from being able to produce battlecopters. Either be through depriving him of money or just having everything on it. So I move my mech into the mountains to cap those properties up there. Keep capping, and now just start taking engagements. Hoping to make him lose some money on repairs so that he just can't field out battlecopters. I recognize he can't because battlecopter costs 9,000. His income is only 7,000 per day. So you have to have some left over afterwards. At least 2,000 left over afterwards and wait a turn. I build an infantry, a tank, and an artillery to really start harassing him. Mallcut Man keeps moving in and taking engagements. Trying to give Bread Monkey a bit of pressure while he just starts taking his own properties, finally getting his hands on the airport, wiping out some of his infantry. His turn again, he just keeps moving, trying to break off these recons. Unfortunately, he put his tank right in range of the artillery, so he's got to take a shot from that. Civic Mistake's turn, he finishes off my infantry, which I was completely fine with. I really should wait to properly play instead of going action by action. It was his tank on my tank, wins the engagement. It was his infantry, recon on my infantry, wipes it out. Resupplies everything of his APC and keeps moving his infantry in and building more infantry. It's my turn, I keep moving in my forces. Oh, that was my tank that attacked. My southern tank that attacked. I thought it was this tank that attacked, so a little bit confused. No. The play can be a little bit glitchy. I start capping that property there, moving my artillery in, moving my freaking horde of infantry in, and building an anti-air because I recognize this turn he can afford to send out a battlecopter. So I want to have an anti-air to make sure that if he does, he knows the risk, and if he doesn't, that's good. They are actually having a pretty decent fight up there as they try and cap all their properties. I mean, I have mine. I'm just trying to deprive Simic of his. Yeah, they're still taking engagements. He's doing pretty well, and he sends out a medium tank, which admittedly in the match is weirded out by. Yeah, medium tank and a recon. I guess it is kind of what he needs to break the stall going on there. He takes out my first tank. Thankfully, I have another on the way. And keeps fighting with my infantry. And there's the battlecopter I was afraid of. He keeps on wiping out my infantry and building more of his own, as well as mechs. Thankfully, rank and file Hawks units are better than Eagles, so I can just keep on hitting stuff. Now I set my anti-air here because basically wherever his battlecopter moved, with a few exceptions, my anti-air would be in range to hit him. And move all my other units into position to attack. And take that property, and I just keep moving into the mountains and also moving east. Also building my own battlecopter, try and force him to waste money on an anti-air instead of something really terrifying like artillery or tanks. Walcott Man's trying to wrestle Red Monkey's airport away from him and also fields out a Neo tank to try and make a point. But thankfully is able to deprive him of the cap very quickly and get his medium tank into the field and start capping some of the mountain properties as well. So he keeps moving in, fires on my anti-air for a good bit of damage, almost wipes out my tank instantly. Mainly, I didn't want my anti-air attacked. I didn't realize his tank could move in because I was playing a little bit dumb. His infantry keep on moving in on mine. We're just kind of trading shots there. And he's still just building more infantry, and now tanks as well, so he didn't rise to my challenge for an anti-air. I managed to damage his battlecopter pretty badly. Start capturing that. Damage his infantry. Just keep on trying to defend this point, because I don't want him taking this city and rushing my southern front, so I just keep moving in. Takes some engagements on its infantry, trying to wipe it out. Managed to. Because I want that city there. Field another tank, some more infantry, and a second tank. I mainly concentrate on just trying to bust through him instead of trying to balance my fronts. I think he was trying for good luck roll there. That just one-shots his tank with his Neo tank. Yeah, Von Bolt medium tanks. They built a rocket trying to harass me in the southern front. Just keeps moving in on him, trying to push him back. A little bit worried about that Neo tank, so he just tries to stay a little bit away from it. It's his turn as he fails to disrupt my capping of that property. Instead, chooses to take out my battlecopter, build another battlecopter of his own. And just keep on trying to bust through my lines. Take out a few infantry, but I just keep moving in. Bring his battlecopter down to almost dead. Cap that property. Hit his battlecopter of my own. Damn, you're killing it. But thankfully making him waste a good chunk of money on repairs. I just sacked my infantry there so I can move another one in and finish him off. And moving into the mountains, step up my offensive even more. Try to cap that property. Wouldn't get away with it because I'm very close to the rocket's range. And also a bunch of infantry. I'm pursuing my artillery so we can just keep on pummeling his units. Basically unchallenged as he can't attack it because it's just surrounded. And keep moving myself in. I have my normal power ready. I think all of us have our normal powers ready. Well, except for Red Monkey and Walcott Man, since Von Bolt's power just takes forever to charge. I debated using it, but I was told by Red Monkey to wait a while because he wanted to try something. Now he builds a anti-air trying to contest his battlecopter. That Neo tank is thankfully badly damaged, and the Neo tank is destroyed. No, apparently not. Frickin' Neo tank defense, eh? He pops his power, trying to get his battlecopters out of danger. He's moving them to try and knock me back, which he is doing pretty effectively. I am losing ground pretty hard. I lose my anti-air, which is a bit of a big blow as he is still throwing out battlecopters. Oops. I think I did something wrong. Yeah, I screwed up something. Whoops. Yeah, I hit the wrong button. I have to keep on just clicking this until the replay gets anywhere. Yeah, this was an interesting match. These guys are much newer to the game than I am, but still, I feel like they did incredibly well. Again, so I was trying to damage his tank with my artillery. Just sacrifice my Valcopter's shield. Off his infantry. Damage his Valcopter pretty heavily. And then shoot it down. Damage his infantry even more. Right now, really, I'm just trying to push in as hard as I can. Thankfully, I'm managing. I do have a considerable unit and value lead over everyone else. I have more units and I'm making more money, so I can field even more units. Rimlucky sent a recon down to help me, but he forgot about it, so I kind of forgot to mention it because that's as far as it ever moves. And Neotank is also almost out of shots, so praise be. It's also almost out of health. I think it just decided, yeah, it's done, and sacrificed it. As we just keep on moving in. Knocks out his artillery, damages his anti-air. Right now the battle is very handily in our hands. We're pushing them back very hard. Unfortunately, that was a good amount of damage on my artillery, which I did not want. And even more battlecopters. My own battlecopter is shot down. Thankfully, I almost have my power, so I just keep moving in, trying to damage as much as I can. Thankfully, now I am moving in on his southern side. So it's not just me sitting there, eventually waiting for my defeat, as I just keep pressuring him in. Building more infantry, just keep on seizing more properties. Another battlecopter and 3 infantry. They're still fighting up there. It's taking a while, but at this point we started kind of coordinating our final push because we're both getting our super CO powers. Remember, Sami's allows him to instantly cap a property regardless of HP. As you can see, he has a transport copter and loads up an infantry. And builds another Neotank, I suppose just to keep Joey's attention on the front. Sivan is playing with the battlecopter. As we just keep trying, as Mistake and I keep trying to break through each other. You can see my dog was there for a second. It's my turn once again. I am almost to Black Storm, so I figured I can get a little bit more damage off and then pop it. I think this is when I decided to pop it. Yeah, just to damage everything on the field. Take out his battlecopter. Take out his recon. Damage his APC. Join my tanks together. Take out his battlecopter. Start capping his airport. Kill his APC. Damage his tank. Damage his infantry. This is really where I just knocked him out of the park in terms of power. Hang on one second. No, you're not allowed on the windowsill. Had to get my cat off the windowsill, sorry. Just kept on moving in, building more tanks and infantry, and just kept on trying to cap. This is where Malcott Man truly did start to join the fight and try and defend Simic Mistake. I think this was honestly too little too late, because he's already having a bit of a hard time with Bread Monkey. You can see he moved his transport copter in position to be able to cap very soon. Takes a few engagements and then just Simic, as the two of them are trying very hard to contest me. Sport does get 1 HP of damage, so I can't cap that airport. Take out his infantry, take out a bunch of his infantry and one of his tanks. Start to move in on his rocket so I can try and just end its ass. They keep moving in, building even more infantry, and he just keeps on trying to pummel my tanks away from his rocket, which he does pretty well. You see, he's severely wounded both of them. With his infantry, trying to intercept the transport copter, but first of all, damaging that. I love how Bowcopters is such defense, even against a Neo tank. He drops off his infantry there, just keeps on taking engagements. Now almost everyone has their powers. Malkuth Man has his, and admittedly, what happened with that one surprised me, because I thought it always targets the most value. I thought it would either land here, because I have a tank, an artillery, a Bowcopter, and a bunch of infantry, or over here, because I have a tank, an anti-air, and a bunch of infantry. But you'll see. Now it's my turn once again. I really desperately want that tank out of the way so I can start taking shots on his rockets. So I sack one of my tanks. And then send a Battlecopter at his artillery, at his rocket, to nearly wipe it out. I'm gonna get cocky at this point, just joining my infantry together, because I believe that, hey, we've already won here. Malkuth Man's about to get knocked out of the game. So I just kept on moving in, building a few more units. Malkuth Man popped Ex Machina, and it hit this medium tank and Neo tank. Which makes sense, I just didn't think it worked like that. I was honestly incredibly surprised, and I think I voiced that pretty heavily in the call. Just keeps knocking down my tanks. Damaging his recon even more. And this was when he popped Victory Marked, which allows him to instantly cap properties, and capped his HQ, giving all of his properties to him, and giving him even the value lead over me, hilariously. Just kept on taking properties. And then he just resigned, as he recognized, I'm not going to win. This is just going to be a 2-on-1. So we took the match. Not sure why they're cloned like that. But yeah, I was really just keeping him busy so he couldn't spam out Battlecopters and harass us, while Spread Monkey did the actual heavy lifting of the match. We coordinated that final push together on the HQ. I just had to keep him busy for long enough that he couldn't stop it. But hey, if you like this little replay, I may do a few more. I think we played like 4 or 5 matches together as friends. So if you liked, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Breeze of Teaching Dragon, signing off.